So, welcome to my presentation. So, introduction, I'm Kenneth, and today I'll be discussing global warming, how we caused it, and how we can stop it. So before I start, I want to ask, please hold all questions until the end, and please refrain from speaking out of terms. So first is, what is global warming? Well, global warming is a long-term rise in average temperature of the Earth's climate system, an aspect of climate change shown by temperature measurements and multiple effects of the warming. So here in this picture right here would be the temperature change in the last 50 years from 2014 to 2018 average versus 1951 from 1980s baseline. So going this way is the temperature dropped at least 2%, which means this was around here, which means this was during the Ice Age. And over here where it says plus 2%, which means the temperature went up at least more than a half or 2%, which is around the 2014-2018. And at the top, where it is mostly red, this is top of Canada, Antarctica, North Pole. And down here where it's halfway red, orange, is South Pole, the tail of South America, so on and so forth. So, what is global warming doing to our planet? Well, the planet is warming from North Pole to South Pole since 1906. The global average surface temperature has increased by more than 1.6 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 0.9 degrees Celsius. Even more in sensitivity polar regions, and the impacts of rising temperatures aren't waiting for some flung future. And the effects of global warming are appearing right now. So the heat is melting glaciers and sea ice, it's shifting precipitation patterns, and setting animals on the move. So polar bears in the North Pole area are in danger because their habitats are melting, as in their icebergs. So they're stuck in the middle of an ocean with just a big block of ice just to sit on. So they're running out of resources. And also, more floods are happening in India. Monsoon season came extremely early due to global warming and climate change, and a lot more floods are happening, and the water is raising a lot higher due to global warming. So what are the disadvantages of global warming? Well, a change in ocean circulation. A higher sea level leads to flooding or low-lying lands. Because of the ice glaciers melting and breaking off, it drops into the ocean, and then by possibly say 2257, half of the Earth's population could be covered in water, like many islands such as Samoa or Guam may be covered in nothing but water. Less sea ice, deserts becoming drier, allergy and asthma rates go up due to pollution. So, how have we caused it? From pollution to our carbon footprint, we have caused global warming in numerous amounts of ways. Deforestation, power plants, etc. Deforestation because we want to have more buildings and things of that nature. We're cutting down trees and removing forests where animals live, so it's forcing them to move. And then with them to move, it's putting them in areas where they're not able to live in, and it's not their habitat of nature. And from power plants, because more power plants becomes non-reusable resources, and with those non-reusable resources, it releases bad things into the air, which can cause asthma and so on and so forth. So, what is it doing to animals? Like I said, people and wild creatures face new difficulties for survival in light of environmental change. Increasingly exceptional dry seasons, storms, heat waves, rising ocean levels, liquefying ice masses, and warming seas can straightforwardly hurt creatures, pulverize the spots they live, and unleash destruction on individuals, employments, and networks. So in Antarctica, we've lost half of Antarctica already in 2018, to where Antarctica looks like a tiny ice cube from it just being a big block of glaciers. it is now, it looks worse than this actually. This picture was taken in 2014. A lot of polar bears are dying. The narwhal species is now extremely extinct. A lot of fishes that come from the Antarctica area have moved and died because they're not used to their area. And also due to global warming, there is this process called eutrophication, which is algae grows in the waters of lakes and so on and so forth, and when it grows, it takes all the oxygen out of the lakes and kills all the sea life under it. There are some advantages in global warming. Increased vegetation in highly northern latitudes. So people in Icelandic parts of Alaska or in Iceland or Greenland, they can now live there because since it is warm enough for humans. Increase in chin strap, increased plankton biomass in the North Pacific subtropical Jiri, which was a big problem back then, but now it's not due to global warming. And a recent increase in forest growth, mostly out in the northern hemisphere. There has been a large increase and forest growth, so more animals will be, if we stop the deforestation, more animals can finally be at peace in their natural habitat areas. What can we do to stop global warming? Power your home with renewable energy, solar panels, LED lights, things of that nature. Invest in energy efficient appliances, like I said before. Reduce your water waste, so if you're brushing your teeth, turn your water off, brush. Only turn on when necessary. Only use a certain amount of water. Don't use extra parts of water that you don't need. Actually eat the food you buy and make less of it meat. Not saying go vegan or go vegetarian, but I know it's gonna be expensive, but try to get grass-fed meat or buy less of meat. And don't just sit there and let the food expire. Actually eat it. And also, pull the plug. I know PG&E does this thing called peak hours from 5 to 8. They hike up your bill. So pulling the plug from every Monday through Friday, it helps. And buy better bulbs. LED bulbs like that one right there on the blue lamp are a lot better. A whole lot better. So reflection, during this entire PowerPoint, I realized that our planet we love is going downhill and we are trashing it but not caring. We as humans can do better to teach our kids, future grandchildren, etc., how to keep the planet clean. Global warming is a serious matter and shouldn't be swept under a rug. Get serious and get going. Any questions?
Yes, I have one question. I don't have a question. I have an answer to it. I didn't know about global warming. I looked at global warming as being like your plastics and stuff, like you dispose of. You going into the oceans and stuff, and the animals are eating your plastics and stuff. Now I know I have a broader thought on the subject. Since you told it to understand, yes, since you told it to me, now I know. I will be doing my part. I will turn off water and everything of that nature. I'm doing my part.
Jaleja?
You're very well.
Well, what causes global warming is humans. We are using lots of things. We're wasting stuff that can lead up to it. Us making us having pollution go up into the air. Us making energy resource like non-reusable energy resources. Deforestation. There's so many things that cause global warming, but as humans, we are the first ones that cause global warming.
What creates pollution?
Pollution, there's fossil fuels. Main one is fossil fuels because fossil fuels are not reusable, so they just burn and right to the air. Cars, when you drive, the smog comes out straight in the air. Especially in China, they have one called yellow season, which is pollution. It takes over the whole entire country. It is so thick that you cannot see, and you have to wear a mask to even go outside. So burning fossil fuels, driving, bringing things that can't be reused and stuff like that. Bam?
What is grass-fed meat?
Grass-fed meat is when, because cows aren't fed, there are a lot of cows aren't fed grass, but they're corn tolerant. So cows were only built to eat grass. They're not built to eat corn. So, and grass-fed meat is like, the nutrients and stuff that not only
they naturally
exactly. They benefit off, but we benefit as well.
So the corn is making them fat.
Right. And also, since the corn is making them gassy, it's ruining the ozone layer because it's becoming a methane gas.
Does that affect the milk?
It doesn't affect the milk, it affects our bodies.
The meat.
Mm-hmm.
How does the ice melt?
The ice melt because since it is getting hotter, temperatures are rising, and ice can only stay together at a certain temperature, but once it starts to get warmer, it comes off in big chunks and falls to the ocean, which causes the ocean to rise, which is why they're like, on the news, they're always talking about it, and how they're like, the seawaters are rising, the levels rising more and more, which causes more floods. So it's just, when the temperature starts to get, like when the temperature rises more to like, a degrees warmer, 2 degrees warmer. Grandpa? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was your hours for pull the plug?
Hours are from 5 to 8 on weekdays.
To
Turn off all lights.
All lights, but you can leave one TV.
One TV, leave the refrigerator plugged. Like
everything else will stay on.
Not using your plug.
Yeah, like in your rooms, your TVs, and
your lights that you don't be using.
Okay.
Grandpa?
So you're saying that burning fossil fuels, such as fuel oil, such as gasoline, such as factory oils, they all burn, and they burn so hot that they burn part of our atmosphere, which creates.
It's one of them. It's not the main, but
Not one of them, it's all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of them. And they create a problem up in the atmosphere that creates global warming. Global warming comes from the sun burning down, and those holes in our atmosphere make the sun burn hotter.
Mm-hmm.
see, that's another thing too. Since the fossil fuels are burning and it's melting the ice caps, with the ice caps, they were there for a reason. They take the sun's heat and bounce it right back out of the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Since the ice caps are melting, it's keeping it in,
Which
is causing it to get hotter and hotter. That's why 2010 was the recorded hottest year, because since the ice is melting, there's nothing to bounce the heat right back out. It's just keeping it in. Jaleja?
So the animals just suffer?
The animals are suffering currently. Any other questions?
Not apparently, the animals are suffering.
Bam?
So that's why you do the song. Never mind.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Grandma?
No.
Deforestation. Deforestation is the cutting down of our trees, which affects the animals.
Yeah.
Which is why the animals,
They have no home.
well, yeah, they have no home and that they're dying off.
Yeah.
And more of our animals that we see, that we know of in our lifetime,
are going extinct. It has been known by studies that at least 200 species go extinct a day. Not a week, not a month, but every day. At least 200 species of a certain animal. Like the liger, now that's shown pigeons, more of a California bird. They're starting to go extinct. Pandas. Ligers are it's a mixed breed of tigers and lions, but they went extinct in the 1900s, later 1900s. But many animals are going extinct every day, 200 species. So the deforestation is like really hurting them, and since it's getting hotter, they're dying off a lot faster.
So polar bears are in danger?
Polar bears are in extreme danger because they're at. If we were to go that.
they have
Right here.
more.
Polar bears are up here.
It's too hot.
It's too hot for them. So they're their fat that's keeping them warm is sweating off, and they're becoming like bones. Exactly, and they have no way to go because the ice is like little plates.
Yeah.
They can't catch.
In other words, Alaska is like I watch below zero. Alaska, certain parts of Alaska never got hot in the springtime. and it's getting hot where the ice is melting so much that it melts so down so much where the animals are coming out to feast, but they're coming out to get killed.
Right.
So they're killing it like foxes and all that stuff.
As
So,
they're killing, they're
yeah.
dying too.
so the more every tree you burn, every tree you chop down, is every tree that you're chopping an animal off.
Right.
Because that's what they habitat. So every time you want to clear land or make an apartment building, you killing off animals. Because they have no place else. That's why you see lions in certain places they shouldn't be. Because they're every time you chop down a tree to build a house, you kill an animal. They need their own habitat. Because now you're dealing with their land.
Kenneth?
Is people protesting what's going on?
They are, and I know in Sweden, the youngest girl, the 9-year-old girl, she's 9 years old. She did a walkout in class for global warming because it's not getting any attention in schools. And recently, she did a TED talk, which is like you're talking like in front of 2,000 people about it, and it's waking people up because at this point we have every answer. We're just not doing anything about it, and we're ruining our earth. Like, if Kayla or Ray, if they want to grow up and have kids, their kids may not have anything because the earth is literally dying. Like, they may not have anything. So it's like starting out to get people's attention. The food resources are really limited too. And so the bee extinct is the recent one that's scaring everyone because they're on the board of extinction right now. And if bees go extinct, we won't have any food at all.
Yeah.
Because they can't
pollinate.
be pollinated.
They pollinate everything.
So bees are really on the level of extinction. So if you see a bee, don't kill it, just run away.
They pollinate your strawberries, your cherries, your plums, your greens, your broccoli.
Not the broccoli.
And as you see, mosquitoes are coming in more because it's starting to get hot earlier. And so more mosquito brings more disease.
Yeah.
But less bees is no food. And with bees gone, the food that we do have is going to skyrocket.
Yeah.
Extremely expensive. Yeah, right.
We wasps do the same thing.
Wasps don't pollinate.
No, they only fertilize. They make more bees. They're like your mom and dad.
Any other questions, Mom, Rashonda?
I'm done.
No, I liked your presentation. It was very thorough.
Rashonda?
So where do you suggest that I go and get the LED lights from? Would it be at Home Depot?
They would be at Home Depot. I would say Walmart. They might be at falling prices. I don't know.
Dollar store.
Yeah, anywhere that you can find. And how you can tell when it's an LED light is if you look under the light part, it is like a really type of plastic instead of glass. So that's how you tell the difference of an LED light. And an LED light saves a lot more energy and will, lower your bill little by little. So LED light. Also, if it starts to get sunny, there's no need to really have a light on. If you have windows. Also, one big thing that is really important to save energy. If you are not in that room, turn that light off or turn off any of the electricity in that room because that really saves the bill and provides energy. If you're not, say if Mom's not in her room, she forgets her light, one of us can turn it off. She can turn it off.
My bill high, because I keep my TV on all night.
Right, that's another thing. A lot of TVs have sleep timers. So with the new TVs built nowadays, they have timers on them. So you go in your settings, go to timer 180 minutes, and about 180 minutes, the TV will turn off automatically.
Okay.
Titi, you got a question? Yes.
No question.
Okay. Is that all?
That's it.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, James.
Good job.
Yeah. Good job, KJ.